Hey man, I wanted to film another video outside. It's cold, it's foggy, but I don't care, because this video will be crucial for everyone who wants to build a successful long-term relationship. This is really a lesson, or many lessons, that I'm going to share with you in this video that I wish I knew this earlier. This would have literally saved me so much suffering and so much headaches. So take this video serious. You know, I don't agree with everything that the Red Pill says, mostly not with the intention of what the Red Pill guys try to do. But at the end of the day, there are parts of the Red Pill that are true. And one of those parts is that a woman who's usually more in her feminine than in her masculine, who usually has a more feminine sexual essence than a masculine one, the feminine part within her wants to be led by the masculine part within another person, within their partner, right? And also, if you're a guy and you're watching this, most likely you don't want to be led by a woman, you want to lead her, right? And I'll start off with a little story that I recently experienced, and that really showed me why people don't like insecure people. So I have an office in like a bigger office building where a bunch of business owners, they have their office there, right? And another guy from this building came into my office, just wanted to ask me a question, right? And he couldn't stop shaking. He couldn't stop stuttering. And usually he doesn't stutter. He couldn't stop looking at the ground or looking at the ceiling, but he couldn't look me in my eyes. And after like 5 to 10 minutes of this conversation, I was so uncomfortable. And usually I'm very comfortable in my own skin. I'm very comfortable in social situations. That wasn't always the case in the past, obviously, otherwise I wouldn't even have a right to film this video, because I was very insecure, had very little confidence in the past. Now that's not the case anymore. But even though I'm so confident and so comfortable in my own skin, this guy made me so uncomfortable. And that was interesting. Just because of his own insecurity, he made me uncomfortable. Do you think that your woman, your girl, wants that from you? Right? She may be a bit insecure by herself already. And then she doesn't want someone who's insecure. Of course, she also doesn't want someone who's arrogant and who makes her feel like less of a human. But at the same time, she wants someone who can, give her that comfort of showing like, hey, I'm confident. You can also open up. You can also be confident here. Right? You know, when I started dating my girl, I had pretty much always been the underdog in most parts of my life up until that point, and I was very shy. I got bullied for like 8 years in school, and pretty much in everything I did, I was never the best one, except for volleyball, but even there I wasn't always the best one. Like in my team I was, of course, like honestly I was one of the best, but then we went into a competition and there were other guys who were way better, who were way stronger, way taller. I was always the small, skinny guy. And so when I started dating my girl, I almost felt, and not even felt, but I heard her and like other girls as well, like her friends and stuff, who were also my friends. I pretty much just met her through my friend group, right? They all talked about me as like the cute guy, and not in cute as like TikTok boy cute, which also that wouldn't have been good, but more cute in a way of, he's so insecure, he's so shy, that's so cute, he's such an introvert, that's so cute. I didn't want to be that person. I never wanted to be that person. I always wanted to be the more extroverted, more social guy that's just very comfortable in his own skin. I think that was the biggest part. I didn't even want to be like the class clown or anything, but I mostly just wanted to be the guy who's comfortable in his own skin. The guy who can sit in a group of people, and when there's a moment of silence, he doesn't need to ask like a random question just to keep the conversation going, but just sit there and just not care. Just endure the silence. Not even endure, but enjoy the silence. Right? And so over the years I've really outgrown that self-image. I've really gone to a place where I'm much more confident with myself, and where I am very comfortable with other people. And it doesn't matter whether that's someone who I've known for years or someone who I just got to know. Just because I'm so comfortable in my own skin, and just because that allows me to almost take risks in a way, if that makes sense, right? Like, I don't care whether someone likes me too much. Of course, like, I'm still a human and I still care about the approval of other people, but it's... in the past it would really destroy me if I found out that someone didn't like me. Now I'm like, okay, like, not too bad, because I like myself. And you know, funnily enough, the guys who join our community, they're pretty much the same. Like, for a lot of them, you can either I know them from like my old channel, we had a community there as well, right? I know them directly, I've talked to them or something, or I got to know them through the new community now. It's really funny, they were also, many of them, like kind of the underdog, like the skinny guy, for example, right? I think that's the best example. And they've outgrown that. And I want to tell you how I did it, and also some of the examples maybe that they gave me, right? Because I think it can add a lot of value to you, and especially your relationship, because it really will help you massively if you are comfortable with yourself in any situation in your relationship. Then you just become a better leader, and you will have more of the dynamic in the relationship that you actually want, right? So with confidence and self-trust, I think that's the best word. There's two sides to it. There's the external and the internal. The external are things like building muscle if you're a skinny guy, or like losing body fat if you're overweight, right? That kind of stuff will just give you more confidence. Getting a haircut, having nice clothing, all that stuff will help massively. But there's also things that are a bit different. Like, for example, something that I literally did is talking to random people on the street. This is also something external, right? Just saying hello and then striking up a conversation. Like, I don't know, someone comes across, like someone walks towards me, and like they have a dog, and I start petting the dog, and then I talk to them. That's something I literally did with the purpose, like a couple of years ago, and I still do it with the purpose of just getting better at talking to people. And also there's random things, like, for example, something that gave me a lot of confidence a couple of years ago was being able to do a backflip on the ground. That was just one of these random things where also I had to overcome myself to really achieve that. It took me 2 years from the point where I kind of knew that I could do it to the point where I actually did it, where I actually overcame that mental barrier of like jumping upwards and like turning one time and with the possibility of landing on my head, right? But when I could do that, finally, when we were with our friends or something at the lake, right, and I could just do a backflip on the ground, on the grass, that just gave me more confidence, because it was something that I could show off almost, right? And of course that's not the best way of being confident, but it definitely helped, and that's why I'm telling you this. And then there's the internal, and those are things that when you sit with yourself, when you're not with other people, you can practice those. The biggest one is definitely just reflecting on why you're not confident, what's holding you back from being confident, and also not just what's holding you back in a sense of like, I'm skinny and that's why I'm not confident, because that's not true. There are skinny guys who are very confident. And why is that? Well, because they don't have these limiting beliefs that you do have. That you have, not that you do. Sorry. English is not my first language. I'm actually from Germany, so bear with me here. At the end of the day, really figuring out why you're not confident, what's holding you back, which limiting beliefs, which mindsets you might have about yourself and about the world, about other people, that will help you massively. And then also it's small things like, or small, I think it's a big thing, but many people would see it as a small thing. Keeping your word to other people, but also to yourself. When you say you're gonna do something, do it. That builds trust in yourself, because then the next time you say you're gonna do something, you're gonna have way more conviction that you're actually gonna do it, right? And then 2 more things that I would like to mention here, because I'm currently working on those actually, is building a more aggressive mindset What I mean by that is an aggressive mindset, not towards other people or something, but towards problems, towards struggles. When a struggle comes up in your life, just tackle it aggressively, right? I didn't want to film this video today. I'm probably gonna film another video after this. My shoes are wet. It's 5 degrees Celsius outside. The sun was out like an hour ago. Now it's foggy. I don't know why. But I'm still filming this video. Like, my hand here is hurting already because it's cold. But it's just cold. Like, I'm gonna be warm when I get back into my room, right? No problem, right? So at the end of the day, when a problem comes up in your life, tackling it aggressively rather than passively sitting back and being like, oh, I don't really want to make that phone call, or I don't really want to do this, and that's massively helped me. And then at the same time doing things that give you more conviction that you're actually the best at what you're doing. And I don't mean like, oh, I'm an athlete, like I'm a runner and I want to be better than Usain Bolt. That's likely not gonna happen. But the best in your division, or the best in your school, or the best in whatever, like in a certain aspect of something, right? And to get there, it takes work. Confidence is not just something that comes from, Alex Hormozi said this, confidence doesn't come from shouting affirmations in the mirror. It comes from stacking proof that you are who you say you are, right? And at the end of the day, that's really what it comes down to. If you want to achieve something, and if you want to be confident in a certain field, then you have to do the work first. The only reason why I can talk so freely about relationships and about self-improvement on this channel here is because I know my shit. Simple as that. Because I've gone through it. Because I am in a 5.5-year relationship. That's why I can talk so freely about it. If someone were to try what I'm trying here right now, either the advice would be shit, or he would stumble over his words the whole time. But I've built those reps, and also talking to a camera. This is my 3rd YouTube channel here. This is something people don't realize, right? People are like, oh, this channel is growing pretty quickly, and oh, he's so good at talking to a camera. I've done it for years. Simple as that. You know, I think it was also Alex Hormozi who said this, but he said, to be a confident man, or maybe it was Stephen Bartlett from the podcast Diary of a CEO. Maybe it was him, I'm not sure. But one of these guys, or maybe someone completely different, they said, know who you are, know where you are going in life, and enjoy going there. Have fun while you're going there. And honestly, knowing who you are is the trickiest part of that, I feel like. At least for me, knowing who I am, knowing what qualities I have and what parts I need to work on, it takes a lot of intuition to actually know that, and also a lot of reflection to develop that intuition. You know, I want to tell you another story that was almost 5 years ago, when I went on the first holiday with my girl. We went to Croatia. Her dad gave us a car. She wasn't able to drive because she wasn't 18 then. I was. So I drove the car. And we ended up in Split, a big city in Croatia, right? And we parked the car there in the evening. We couldn't really find a parking spot, so we went through the whole city, and finally we found a parking spot, right? It was like a weekend evening, and every parking spot was full. And at the end of the day, a few hours later, we had like dinner, we went through the city, right? And like, I don't know, at midnight or 1 a.m. we come back, and we don't remember where we parked that car. And because I was the driver, I felt responsible for the car. And I panicked. I just turned 18, I just finished school, I've been dating this girl for like half a year. Her dad doesn't even know me yet, or it knows me but doesn't know me well yet. And at the end of the day, I panicked in that situation. And it took us like 2 hours to finally find the car. We did find the car, but in that situation, she became the leader. Isn't that interesting? Like, she, and my girl, by the way, she's tiny. Like, she's literally 1.60 meters. Little blonde girl. And she, in the end, took the lead there. Because I couldn't, because I panicked. Not like panicked, but I became nervous, right? And I worried. I think that's the best way to put it. That wouldn't happen to me anymore. Because nowadays there are situations like that, right? Where there's a new situation in my life or in my relationship. But because I've handled so many new situations, and because I know who I am, and because I know that I'm comfortable in my own skin, it's fairly easy for me to tackle these situations. I have this mindset nowadays of, oh, there's a new situation, it's just a challenge, and I know that I can figure it out. I know that I can figure this out. And that mindset, if you've developed that through both changing your mindset, getting rid of your limiting beliefs internally and also externally, becoming a better person, becoming a better man, a better leader in that sense, that will massively help you in your relationship. Because there will be a lot of situations, and you know this, there will be a lot of situations with your woman where you're not gonna be able to, or where you haven't experienced that situation before, where you need to adapt to a situation in the moment, where there's a fight, or there's, I don't know, during sex maybe, right? There are different situations that you need to handle that you've never handled before. And the only way to do that is to develop this mindset of, I know I can figure this out. Both externally, both internally. Fuck that up. I wanted to get it right, like talk it nice, but both externally and internally. Now, if you're not a lazy guy and you're ambitious and you want to improve as a guy and as a lover, and you want to improve your relationship, what you can do is you can join our community. The members of this community genuinely, on a daily basis now, almost tell me like, bro, what you're building here is fucking awesome. This is the best place to learn about how you can build a thriving, long-term, sustainable relationship that doesn't lose attraction, and that still like keeps up that spark, but still isn't going into like the red pill direction where the man depends on the woman for sex and for emotion, for care, and the woman depends on the man for money and for status and that kind of stuff, for security, where both give each other those unique gifts, but they're still able to not make the other person dependent on it. The community is completely free, so if you want to check it out, you can do that. Link in the description. I will read over your application personally, so don't write some bullshit in there. And yeah, I'll see you soon, man. Bye. Have a good day.